forged in fire, still reaching for more. Going up, 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 up. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up. We're going higher, as we aspire. Build advances, one people together. Bang, bang, bang. It's only up from here. It take time to reminisce on the richness of our history from the beginning. From the people who came through sugar and change. From top to bottom, them have a big time plot.
At 25 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock in the morning time. A track from the band Nazio Fontaine, Under Attack in the morning time. And certainly just adding a little bit of reggae flavor to your morning as you get ready for the demands and the askings of another day. Today being the 23rd day of the month of January. And you probably want to stop and ask yourself, January, where has it gone? Where is it going? Where to from here? Believe me, time waits on no one. And as you decide to scout through your mind and wonder what's going to happen for the rest of the day, I want to say thank you for waking up at Classic in the morning time. I'm Joseph Cadore saying thank you for waking up with Classic. Thanks for being a generation, a conversation that is different in the morning. And a wonderful good morning to those of you that is online on a different social media platform. We say thank you, and thank you again for making a difference and appreciating that which we attempted to do, becoming agents of change here on the Isle of Spice. So again, welcome as we go through the day, and we're hoping that somehow you would allow us to be part of your life, that allow you to become a better individual as we try collectively to change and become a different individual, become a different person. And so certainly as you go through the day, we want to say thank you. It is Thursday. Here we are. The week literally is just plowing away, and some of us are just busy trying to do our own things and try to figure out what next. I hope that's not the case, but that you have a blueprint as to where you are, how you get to the next stage of your life. So I'm going to say thank you and good morning, a wonderful good morning to you, notwithstanding whatever the situation, circumstances that you might be faced with. I want to tell you that life is not as bad as you think it is. It isn't. Very often we look at life through our own lenses, through our own perspectives, through the issues that we are faced with, and not necessarily realizing that we have an opportunity to change our status quo, to become, if we do something different, it would in fact allow for a different result. Yes? So let's see if we can change our perspectives this morning. We can either determine that my glass is either half empty or half full, and let's look at it that way. But changing our perspective, it probably needs to change the way that we think, the way we speak, the way we evaluate, and we can probably start that conversation by adding a new word to our vocab, to our repertoire. So we'll kickstart things with the word of the day, and that's coming up. So the word of the day is voracious. Voracious. wanting great quantities. So, if it's used in a sentence, she had a voracious appetite for books. In that context of reading, wanting to read, wanting to learn. And you would appreciate that reading as it is one of the best ways to get to source new information. So the word of the day, voracious, wanting a great appetite. Yeah, she had a voracious appetite for books. What is it? What's your appetite? How voracious is your appetite for learning, for changes, for what we refer to as positive, having a positive mental attitude? So we've added a new word to our vocabulary this morning. Now we're going to try to motivate ourselves, because every morning, every day, it is important that we talk to ourselves and say to ourselves, "Self, I can become better. I can do something better." So the motivational tip of the day, that comes up next. So, it's important that we learn from our failures. So instead of fearing mistakes, view them as lessons that can guide you closer to your goals. The quote of the day, learn from your failure. Yes, Master Country, you threw them again for me. Learn from your failures. And whatever those failures are, you want to, instead of fearing them, quarreling over them, you want to view them as lessons that you can learn from as you go forward. I think that's some good advice, and ask yourself, this situation that I'm going through, that I've been through, how does it bring me closer to the next phase of my life that allows me to become closer to my goals? I want you to process that, assimilate it, and see how you can adapt those positive mental attitudes into your life. So that's the tip of the day. But we also have for you compliments of our friends from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council. We do offer you our nutritional health tip, and that comes up right about now at 20 minutes onto the hour of 7 o'clock.
Follow these steps and you'll be fine. Drink lots of water, keep the body.
The sugars that are found in processed and manufactured foods are not the same as those in fresh fruits and vegetables and milk. Foods that contain naturally occurring sugars are healthier because they tend to be lower in calories and sodium and have a high water content, which contains many important vitamins and minerals that the body needs. Naturally occurring sugars are present in everyday foods like fruits and starchy vegetables, whole grain foods, and minimally processed carbohydrates like brown rice and whole grain pasta, and even milk products like yogurt and cheese. When consumed, naturally occurring sugars are not digested as quickly as refined and processed sugars. This reduces the likelihood of blood sugar spikes and drops. Additionally, the Center for Healthy Eating and Activity Research states that fruit and dairy contain fructose and lactose, which are digested slower than added sugars, and keeps your metabolism stable over time. Sugars found naturally in food are more than enough to sustain your body. Natural sugars are processed more slowly, meaning you will have a gradual supply of glucose, preventing your blood glucose levels from rapidly dropping, which results in a feeling of hunger, leading to excessive eating and weight gain. When you choose to eat whole foods, you are choosing to eat healthier sources of sugar. Meals that include lean protein with vegetables, fruits, whole grains, nuts, beans, and seeds digest more slowly and keep your blood glucose levels stable. The Cancer Center advises to drink more water or low-fat milk, limit your consumption of candy, chocolates, cakes, pies, pastries, and cookies, limit sugary beverages such as soda, fruit punch, flavored milks, and fruit drinks, and learn to read food labels to help you make informed choices when purchasing foods. Natural honey, molasses, unrefined maple syrup, fruit purees, dates and prunes, and stevia are examples of healthy alternatives as they maintain more nutritional value and can be used in moderation in place of refined sugars. Follow the GFNC on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for more information on good nutrition and healthy living. Until next time, the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council reminds you to look, eat, and feel well.
Rolls ring a bell? Yes, they keep the body working.
Yeah, encouraging you, reminding you to look well, feel well, and see how best you can achieve that next best goal. Maybe that's, every year people we set resolutions and all of that, and you don't necessarily have to be a case whereby you're afraid of failure or not necessarily keeping up to your schedule. If you make it one of your personal schedules, your personal achievement, even if you fail at it, you can always talk to yourself and say, listen, Joe, I am going to do this. 17 minutes on to the hour in the morning time. 7 o'clock workers, you have just under 5 or so minutes to get there and to get there on time. Well, the morning edition of news comes up in just a bit, and later in the morning we have two wonderful guests that's going to be speaking to us. One will be on a conversation that of anti-doping. Yes, anti-doping. And another special guest that we have a nice chit-chat as we go through the morning. For those of you that's on social media and those other varied platforms, you say thank you so much for being with us, and continue to be part of that conversation. Yeah, so whichever platform you're on, whether it be YouTube or otherwise, we say thank you. And again, we welcome you to continue to be part of this journey. And you said, the morning edition of news is next. We take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we delve right into the news package.
Unlocking opportunities, Excel leads the way in digital advancement every single day. Fair internet access for all to share. Transparent billing with consumer care. Excel through the EC bill, safeguarding our rights. Net neutrality, consumer protection shining bright. Mobile number portability available to you. Switch providers seamlessly. Keep the number true. Excel through the EC bill, promoting fair play in the digital world. Every single day, affordable services are important for all. Through the EC bill, there'll be progress overall. Excel and the NTRCs connecting our communities.
Excel and the NTRCs digitally transforming our space together.
At 14 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock, this is the GBN morning edition of news for today, Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. Coming up in the news, Grenada CIP breaks processing record in 2024, applications volume down 81%. While in the region, St. Martin's police warns of ATM scam. While on the international front, Trump signs immigration executive order. And in sports, well, Idler Sports Club and SAP Spartan FC, well, they've been victorious in the Grenville Cooperative Credit Union St. Andrews League. And these are the headlines. Details to come.
Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sun Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome back with the details. I am Joseph Cadore. Well, what to expect from the cooperation with China in areas such as infrastructure, education, healthcare, cultural exchanges, and technology going forward? Well, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell gave some insights on this in an exclusive interview on Chinese talk show Leaders Talk during his official visit to China earlier this month.
Heavy emphasis on research and development is key, because if you're not researching, if you're not developing, then you will not find the solutions that could help to drive the economic transformation that is taking place. Two, how we use digitization and technology to improve the lives of people. To have the solutions come from digitization and technology, it ultimately means you've got to invest in the education of your people. And we know for sure that is critical here in China, and it has led to many of the successes that you have. A couple of lessons. I think one, it shows the enormous sacrifices made by the nation of China and the citizens of China to safeguard the territorial sovereignty, the integrity and the unity of China. That came out clearly at the museum, and I think the documenting of it is important because it allows the next generation of Chinese to truly appreciate the hard work and the sacrifices made by their forerunners. Second, there's a very inspirational quote: each generation having its own responsibility to carry out its task to the best of its ability and to the end, so that the next generation can do so. And as a leader myself, it left me reflecting on my own task and the need for me to carry out my task to the best of my abilities to the end, so that the next generation of Grenadians can also take up that mantle and do so.
We can tell you that the trip is facilitated to take stock of 2 decades of fruitful partnership and cooperation and discuss ways to address challenges such as peace, security, development, and climate change through partnership and via multilateral institutions. Well, this other story to tell you. Grenada's Citizen by Investment Program, CIP, has achieved unprecedented processing efficiency in 2024, processing 1,676 files. Of that, 1,583 approvals and 93 rejections, compared to 1,503 files in the previous year, being 2003. We can tell you that the heightened efficiency coincides with a dramatic decline in received application, which fell 81% from 2,297 in 2003 to 420 in 2004. Grenada broke another record in 2004, having naturalized 5,443 people through the year. The surge marks the highest number of approval, rejections, and new citizens in the program history, while maintaining a 6% rejection rate below the historical average of 8%. After registering an all-time quarterly record in quarter 3 of 563 processed files, Grenada's output dropped to 1,185 cases in quarter 4 as submissions declined, and the project had already declared its Russian backlog. Continuing with the news in the morning, well, the Grenada Volunteer Hospital Committee, a UK-based charity with a long history of supporting Grenada's healthcare system, is hosting an event on Saturday, the 8th of February. Well, this occasion commemorates Grenada's, Carriacou and Pediatrics independence, while highlighting the need for improved healthcare facilities, including support for hospital children's ward and elderly care. For over 40 years, the organization, which is GVHC, has provided grants, medical supplies, and financial aid to enhance healthcare on the island. The committee also supports children's home and individuals with disabilities, underscoring its commitment to the welfare of Grenadians. Well, from the local scene, we move on to the regional, where St. Martin's Police Force, the KPSM, has issued a public alert regarding a recent surge in ATM skimming activities across the island, with multiple incidents reported between December 30th, 2004 and January 16 of this year. Now, according to the police on the island, investigations have revealed that scammers are placing skimming device on ATM machines, particularly in the Simpson Bay area, to capture users' banking information and PIN codes for fraudulent use. According to their advisory, the devices are designed to capture card details and PIN codes, enabling fraudulent transactions and theft of the funds. And again, this is the story coming out of St. Martin's. Now, this is the story to tell you as we continue with the news in the morning time. The U.S. President Donald Trump has signed executive orders, including some to end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs within the federal government and put all federal DEI workers on leave. We get more in this report.
Signing ceremony early this evening, signing a number of those executive orders which his administration, his incoming administration, has been promising, a lot of those centering on the southern border with Mexico. While there are some other executive orders withdrawing the U.S. from the Paris Climate Accords, putting a freeze on hiring in the federal government and ordering a lot of federal employees back to work, basically terminating remote work in the near future, a lot of what he's doing focuses on the southern border with Mexico, sending in the military, declaring that national state of emergency at the southern border that you just heard about, also designating cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and possibly most controversially trying to test the limits of what can be done by executive action by ending birthright citizenship for the children of people who are in this country illegally. So basically trying to direct agencies in his incoming capacity to not grant citizenship to the children of people who are in the country illegally, who want their children to become citizens, likely to face a tough battle in court, something that Democrats and Republicans up here on Capitol Hill are telling us.
Well, the story brings us to the end of the local, regional, and international news, sports, and the weather to come. Well, good morning and welcome back, sporting fans. Well, for those of you that have followed the action in the Grenville Cooperative Credit Union St. Andrews Football League, we gave you some of the results. But before we get to some of the past results, we'll see what's happening today. Well, in the GFA competition, yes, well, Shamrock SC, they, of course, will be playing at the Victoria Park, and that's against SAFL. While at Pearls Progressive FC will come up against Cheesy Boys FC at Victoria Park from 7:30, and that's tomorrow. Other games we can tell you about is that Hartford Village Revivals will play Trenchtown at Victoria Park. Yes, so, but let's look at some matches that was played earlier in the week. That's on Tuesday, specifically where Idler Sports Club, they triumphed over Hartford Village 6-2. Well, Idler Sports Club, they were leading 3-1 at halftime, with Deshaun Thomas scoring a brace. That's in the 9th and the 59th minute, while Dwayne Jack added 2 goals in the 26th and the 85th minute. We can tell you that Darren Thomas and Kamal Peer completed Idler's scoring with goals in the 20th and the 90-plus minute. Well, for Hartford Revivals, Kazim Dubisset and Kenson Harris, they scored in the 22nd and 55th minute. Deshaun Thomas was named the player of the game. In another match, Sab Spartans, they edged out Ethiopian Stars 5-3. Yes, the 5-3. In that game, I can tell you that Kelly Panju and Jamal Richards, they also scored in that game, with Darren Ned being named as the player of the match. So before we wrap up the sporting element, remind you that today the GFA Under-20 competition, Grenada Credit Union SAFL, they will play Shamrock at Victoria Park, while Pearls Progressive FC will come up against Cheesy Boys at Victoria Park from 7:30. Then tomorrow is more football in the big parish, where Hafford Village Revivals, they will play Trenchtown FC at the Victoria Park. And that's the latest in sports. The weather is next. And 2 minutes on to the hour of 7 o'clock. Tricia Miller joins us live from the Met Office for the live weather report. Tricia, you're live.
Good morning to you and good morning to listeners of GBN. It's a fair morning here at the airport. Winds are from the east-northeast at 14 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 1015.5 millibars, which is above the mean, and it's rising. Present temperature 26.1 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 76%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30 degrees Celsius, and the minimum temperature last night was 25.5 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, only 0.1 of a millimeter in rainfall was recorded here at the MBIA. This brings the total for the month so far to 70 millimeters. Now the public forecast valid for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. The weather is expected to be generally fair and windy, with a few light showers overnight. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour, gusting higher at times. Today's maximum temperature is expected to get up to 30.5 degrees Celsius. Seas moderate to rough, waves 7 to 10 feet in open waters. A marine advisory remains in effect. Tides will be high around 9 a.m. and low about 3 p.m. Sunset this evening at 6:05. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:32. So just to recap, the weather is expected to be generally fair and windy, with a few light showers overnight. From the Met Office, Tricia Miller.
Thank you, Tricia. I appreciate everything from you and the team. A minute gone past the hour. We have the recap of the headlines. We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
If you are 50 years and over or turning 50 in 2024, our 50-plus car insurance is perfect for you. It's loaded with free benefits like loss of use, special perils, and windscreen cover up to $2,500. Getting to 50 is filled with ups and downs. Let's celebrate these moments together and look forward to 50 more. Call Beacon Insurance at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com to get a free quote today. Special conditions apply.
At 2 minutes gone past the hour 7 o'clock, the recap of the headlines. Well, Grenada CIP breaks processing record in 2024 and application volumes is down 81%. In the region, St. Martin's Police won of ATM scam. Well, on the international front, you know what happens? Well, Trump signs immigration executive order. While a whole lot of action inside of the under-20, that's the GFA under-20, and more action inside of the SAFL. Well, on behalf of the entire news team, I'm Joseph Cadore, saying thanks for being part of the conversation.
Get so much more with Courts Ready Finance. Whether it's a furniture upgrade or appliance replacement, it's easy when you shop using Courts Ready Finance. Get more flexibility by choosing your payment terms, more affordability with low monthly payments, and more access with fast and easy application. Plus, there's no down payment and you make your first payment in 30 days. Get great deals and gifts with select purchase. Get so much more with Courts Ready Finance. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
And so it begins. A journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Southern Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com. Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
Grenadians, the National Celebrations Committee invites you to celebrate the next 50, embracing a future of development, transformation, and unity as we ready ourselves to mark the Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence. On February 7th, 2025, activities include the Independence Monarch Competition semifinals, January 25th at Lassages Playing Field, with the final carded for Saturday, February 1st at the Sutters Bus Terminal. National Church Service, February 2nd, 3 p.m., Crossview RC Church. February 6th, National Colors Day, Interministerial Competition and Independence Cultural Extravaganza from 7 p.m. at the Grenfell Bus Terminal. And on Friday, 7th, it's the grand finale at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. The Independence Day Rally, Military Parade, and Made in Grenada Expo. Let's all celebrate in true Grenadian unity the anniversary of our 51st independence.
Grenada is such a beautiful country. Island in the sun. Look at how we've grown, how far we've run. 50 years we strong and more to come. More to come. More to come. Going higher. 50 years we're blessed, we're forged in fire. Still reaching for more. Going up, going up, 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 up. Going up, going up, going up, 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 up. We're going higher. Going higher. As we aspire, build and fast one people together. Bang, bang, bang. It's only up from here. Take time to reminisce on the
National Anti-Doping Organization. 10 minutes gone past the hour in the morning time. Welcome back to our friends that's joining us on television. It's a wonderful Thursday morning. It's the 23rd day of the month of January. And for those of you probably wondering, yes, it is the 23rd. Where has January gone? That's not a question you need to be asking. What has happened to your life in the last 23 days? If you can't figure out where January is gone. Yeah, I know. We really and truly can't believe it, but it is moving on as quickly as we can possibly think about. Well, I want to say good morning to my two friends just joining me in studio, and the PRO of the Grenada National Anti-Doping Organization, Tariq Sicharan, and he's joined by the president, Sonia Johnson. My dear sir and lady, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to the program.
Morning to you. Thank you for having us.
Well, Tariq, I'm going to apologize for forcing you out of your comfort zone that early in the morning. And please notice I'm just apologizing to you for everybody else. Do you know what? It is what it is. I'm not going to apologize for that. But let's quickly jump into the conversation because we headed into the sporting season. Not headed, we're into it already, and there's a number of schools that have their sports just around the corner. There's been another some mini meets that's been organized by the association, but it's not very often the conversation of doping. And I know when we hear doping, for me, I go back to the Marians, I go back to the Canadian Ben Johnson, and I think for most of us of that period, that's what we remember. Soul, Ben Johnson, and the world trying to make sense of what is it that just happened. Broke our hearts. But either way, but when we talk about doping, and we remember, let's first talk about the Grenada National Anti-Doping Organization. Tariq, who exactly? Tell us about your organization.
Okay, so we are an affiliate of WADA. It is the World Anti-Doping Association, and we are just basically the ground, eyes and ears for WADA. So we enforce the same things, the same principles and everything that WADA would put forward. On a yearly, it comes out with the list of all the substances and everything that is banned and illegal, so to speak. So we just ensure that we follow the protocols, do the testing, make sure that we educate people, organizations and coaches and parents and everybody to be mindful of what the athletes are ingesting. Everything from food to pain relief, everything that they need to make sure that nothing in what they're taking is on the list of banned items.
Is it that extensive? How extensive is the list as to what they can, what they cannot do, and does that apply to all athletes?
Yes, it is. Once you're at the national and international level, you are subjected to testing. also it could be on the list, and you might not knowing it take something, but then if you're taking it purposefully at certain quantities, then it becomes a problem.
Sonia, I guess the argument you didn't know, that is not necessarily an excuse when you go past, when you're at the national level and all of that. But talk to us about how your organization, and what are some of those drugs? And when we say drug, and I want us to be able to, because most times we hear about anti-doping, and people start thinking about those illicit drugs.
Right.
So first, clear the air for us in terms of when we hear the term anti-doping, what exactly it seeks to promote.
So anti-doping actually seeks to promote fairness in sport. So you do not want any athlete taking any medication that would give some advancement or performance enhancement. So you have all the range of drugs. So you have the ones that the doctors prescribe, and that you can make sure that everybody understands that if you have a medical illness, a medical complication, that you are prescribed medication by the doctor, and if it's on that prohibited list, you can get what is called a TUE, therapeutic use exemption.
Right.
So nobody's trying to keep back athletes who may have a complication. The important thing is that you do not want them to be taking anything at an advantage over the other person on the field. So the drugs range is wide. So we're not only talking about illicit drugs, because illicit drugs has the complications as well.
Right.
Right? But you're looking for the ones that are performance enhancing. So cocaine and marijuana, they will have their action of their mode of action to be dealt with as a social drug, and sometimes they have a bit of nerve calming, which could affect some sports. So there are some sports that it went. But for the majority of the anti-doping aspect, you're looking at performance enhancing drugs. So you're looking at anabolic steroids. You're looking at different testosterone enhancement, hormone enhancement drugs, and you're looking also at different aspects of getting the issue of not taking it off the counter drugs. That's a tricky one, because you take medicine, you have to, that's where Rocky talked about, you have to encourage and educate the parents, because you have a cold and you go and you take some drugs, take some medication from off the counter, which has phenylephrine in it, and that's on the prohibited list as a stimulant. So you have to be very careful how you go around the whole aspect of making sure that you don't take the medication or for off the counter, and for anabolic steroids, and for even something like asthma, we have those drugs are for stimulants.
Right.
They're stimulants. So you have to be careful about taking all of those, making sure if you're a patient, you get your prescription from your doctor and you get your TUE signed by your doctor. So that aspect is fine. But the ones that you really worry about are the performance enhancing ones, the steroids and that aspect.
And I'm going to assume in my state of stupidity that we don't have that problem in Grenada.
No, not yet. Hopefully not yet, not ever.
But you would agree, Turing, that it is important that we understand, because if we're really serious about athletics, I know a couple of years ago we had one of our 400 meters athletes. We heard that there was he was bad at certain levels, because not that he didn't take, but he did not satisfy the tested regiment. Yes, and it's important that athletes understand what is required of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I'm seeing those parents at home. They're probably thinking, my child is at private school, and I just running for sports, a little medal. I am not interested in what Tariq and Sonia has to say. That should not be the attitude, Tariq.
No, not at all. Even that, you have some enthusiastic parents who really like to see their children go to the podium.
Right.
So they would even, say drink this or drink that or eat this. It will help you. Give you some.
They mean give you some yam and cassava.
Yeah, we would like that. We would like that. But sometimes they go to the supermarket and then you see little things like 5-Hour Energy and Red Bull and these kind of things. And you might say, think to yourself as a parent, yeah, the child might get a little boosty, you'll get some energy. But then you start it off that way and they become dependent. And then they grow in the sport and they grow as an athlete and they decide they need more. And that's when it becomes problematic.
Because these things have amphetamines in them.
Yeah.
Right. So the issue of doping doesn't just start when a person gets to the professional level.
Oh, no.
It's a culture that is developed over the years.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. It has to be taught early so that you have just avoid that stuff completely and you learn to train and work hard in your own program. One of the issues too that they take these drugs to is for rehabilitation, recovery and rehabilitation after they're tired or they may have had an injury or so. So that also has to be monitored by the parent. You can't be given. It's difficult to call names as to which substance has it in them, but you just have to be very cautious about what you take.
So I'm assuming that conversation, if you're serious about as an athlete, be it the athlete themselves, parents, coaches, it's important that you be in the know to read.
Exactly. So just like Sonia was saying, you take it for different things. They may take it, but remember these are drugs. So when they react to the body, you get addicted. If you don't know, and you don't even realize that you're dependent on it, but you know that the last time you took it, you did well. So you want to do it. Like you may have a headache, and you go and pop to aspirin or Panadol, and then you realize you did well in the race, but you didn't associate it. But then the next race comes up, and you think, hey, I had some aspirin just before that race the last time, so let me pop 2 aspirin. And there you go. And the trend continues.
You get addicted.
As an organization, what are some of the challenges that you face locally?
Education. Just getting people in the know. Yeah, just last year, me and Sonia, we did from Intercall. Yeah, and a lot of the students, we pulled them in and they had no idea anything about anti-doping or.
And we did Elma Griffith and myself did a session with Character Games before the Character Games, and they were just not very much aware. And mind you, we have a school book program going on. We have this workbook in schools, and that was supposed to be with the PE teachers and the phys ed teachers, and so educating in primary and secondary. So this is one of the projects we have for this year, to really revamp that and make sure that the schools are using it, because the education has to start in the schools. And so we're hoping that we could get that going, and we're hoping for a little financial assistance, and we could get that going, so we could get going with spreading out that
challenge that you have. What's contributed to that? Is it that you have? I know there are a lot of schools where you have the math teacher. They ain't too busy on a Tuesday, so they decide, let me just take the children outside. Or is it a case where the coaches themselves? What is it that adds to the problem?
I think a lot of it is just being busy with what they have and not being able to fit in something else, because it's part of the schedule. We asked and we spoke about it when we did that project. That was a UNESCO project we did, and it was quite successful at the time, but the continuation of it, the next teacher comes and the next one comes, and they don't follow up with the same program that was before, so you get that lapse in the changing of the guard, so to speak, in the schools, so they don't use it as much as they should. But they have it there. We call, and the book is there, but they're just not using it. So we have to really push them to get going with that again.
And I'm assuming that's where education, continuous education, comes in, because some people, there are folks that just can't be bothered, Sonia.
Well, we have to be in their face enough so that they would bother. That's our challenge. You know, we just have to be there so that it's talked about, and the programs. We one time we did a little jingle with Junior Murray, and it used to be on GIS a sports program every night. You know, no dope in sport he would end up with, and they played that jingle all the time for a few years, and that was really good because it was in your face and you heard about it continually. So these are some of the challenges for us. We have to sit down. Next, we're having a special meeting. We just had a new executive, and we planning. We had a first meeting Monday, and we planning to have a special meeting so we could sit down and have our year plan organized.
I'm assuming central to realizing your objectives as a Grenada National Anti-Doping Organization. Dollars and cents. Where do you get your funding from?
Dollars and cents comes in. Well, we are a subsidiary of the Ministry of Sport. Still, they haven't thrown us out yet. Ministry of Sport pays for WADA fees, and the Olympic Committee pays for Caribbean RADO fees. So it's really been that's just sort of put in place, and we've made a proposal for a subvention from the ministry, and we should be getting it. It's in the pipeline. And
should be.
Will be. Just say will be. Will be.
And what about contribution from the private sector? Is that something that you're open to?
We're open to it. We have to, when we discuss our year plan, but we have to be very careful because you don't want to advertise with people who sell things that work, or, you know. Okay. So anti-doping is very technical to get sponsors from. We have to be very careful who sponsors you if you do get public sponsors. So we have to thrash it out with all the good brains in the executive.
And not just the people that might be retailers of products, but also sponsors of the athletes also, and sponsors of sporting events. Mm-hmm. So if they have us under their belt, then we become ineffective. So,
what are some of those? Are there some of those products that you can? Because I mean, you're talking about those the energy drinks, and very often. So, do you guys? Your responsibility is to go out and police those companies?
No, we can't do that. We don't have the practices.
That is the product is for the public. We only concerned about athletes.
So we just have to educate them to know what's in these drinks. That they avoid it.
How receptive are the parents? And I'm saying parents because, of course, it's a process that starts from very young. Mm-hmm. How receptive are parents to the education process?
Quite receptive. I would say very receptive, because you just have to get them and get to them, you know. But once you get them in your audience, they are totally understanding and totally accepting, because they want the best for their child as well. So the issue is really a lot of making sure they understand and they're educated properly as to how to go about different things.
And educating, because even at the professional level, you've heard questions, you've heard arguments. Well, the coach, the athlete will say, well, I didn't know the coach gave it to me. Mm-hmm. Is that an excuse?
No, there's no excuse.
No, you are responsible for what you put into your body, and you are responsible. So even if I give you if my doctor give you a medication, you have to know and tell the doctor, well, look, you're an athlete, let's go on the WADA website, because this is the WADA website is on the phones. Everybody got their phones,
right?
So you could go on the WADA website on your phone and check the prohibited list, and so it's your business to tell the doctor, look, is it on that prohibited list? Let's look at that prohibited list, and could you give me another one rather than that one in the first instance? Some situations just not, like there's situations with asthma and diabetes and different things that you just have to use that medication, and that's where the TUE comes in. But it's important for everybody everybody to be in the know about it.
But certainly that would be Tariq. That would be part of the management process.
Yeah.
The coach would know, mommy's going to know, everybody's aware, okay,
exactly,
this individual is asthmatic. But what if, of course, there are other cases where you get an exemption, but even with that, do you have to manage the amount, the levels in your blood? Okay, so because you're asthmatic, you give an exemption. But do they monitor, okay, how come
you get
certain levels are so high?
There's a period, depending on the illness. You get a period of which you could use it. If you're recouping from an accident or something and you need something for rehabilitation, then there's only a period you're expected. So if you're tested within that period, they expect you to have this in your system. But it's not a continuous thing. It doesn't give you, even an asthmatic patient, they would have, I think the levels would be
because there's a certain amount. It's not to use that. It's 2 puffs for 3 days, morning 3 times, 2 puffs 3 times a day for how much time. So in your system, it's going to be a certain amount. If you take 2 puffs 3 times a day, there's a certain amount that's going to be in your system. So if it goes over that amount, then they know you're taking 2 puffs 10 times a day. So then you'll be able to detect that no, this is being abused, so that will be addressed.
Well, the only consolation is that we don't have those challenges in Grenada, and the hope is through education that it doesn't ever get to that chronic stage.
Yes, because we do have asthmatics and we do have people who may be insulin dependent diabetics. So you have a few of the illnesses that are worldwide, and everybody has those, and you have to address those completely. With parent, teachers, coach, doctor, physio, everybody has to know about these things. So it's important, because look at a situation with Yannick Sinner, for instance, that one where he got contaminated in his skin from the physio having the cream on his hands.
Okay.
You see? So now they found that in the system, but he knew where it came from, and that's why. And it wasn't at the level for performance enhancing, but it was there. And look at how it got there. So it's a big issue that everybody must be educated.
And I would assume that, and you would encourage athletes, parents, all of the stakeholders, that there be constant open communication, Tariq, so that you get a full appreciation as to, okay, so mommy knows this is what my conditions are. I am letting my coach know this is what it is. This is what's happening with me. Exactly. So peradventure something happens, you will be able to trace it back easier. So to say, okay, this is the source. If not, you may find yourself on the sticky end of the law.
Yeah, but even if you know the source, but you don't have a TUE to go with it, you're out.
You're gonna get banned. Sometimes you could get a retroactive TUE, which is sometimes you in the sporting event, and then it comes like something happens to you that same day, and you get some medication, so you could do a retroactive TUE. But it's just so important to understand the whole process, because we're still in situations where we see associations scrambling at last minute to get the TUEs done. They're supposed to know that. The coach is supposed to know that. The manager is supposed to know this person is asthmatic, so you have to get it to you way in advance. 30 days in advance is what is required.
The whole conversation of testing, I guess that's part of your portfolio as well. And is there a schedule when athletes are encouraged, and there's a mandate that they follow, that you test every whatever period?
No, we wish we could be like that, and we wish you could answer yes to that.
It's not supposed to be like that. You cannot let the athlete know you're coming to test.
So it's random.
It's random.
But the association should be testing, and this is what we're not getting. Because it's costly, fair enough, but you budget and you have your federation support you, your international federation support you, and make it a priority. So it's still not a priority for them to put it in their budgets and do some testing. What we get is what we call out-of-competition testing. So WADA recognized the importance of the testing and recognized the financial difficulties before, and they have a grant which they give to the Caribbean RADO, and it comes out to all the associations. You have to do a TDP, a test distribution plan, and then you get, so hopefully this year we will do about 12 tests, and that is paid for by WADA. And so we delegate which ones we test. The more high-risk sports would be the ones they would prefer you to test. So we do those, but they cost maybe around $400 US a test.
Okay.
You see, so it's for the full test. So that's difficult for a lot of associations. Maybe, hopefully, with the Sports Council involved and so on, maybe that could improve over time. You need some requirements from these higher bodies that you do some testing to get some funding. You have to show that you're showing interest and you're working towards that common goal. So hopefully we'll get along to a good point in time where we're doing regular testing on our own. But right now we're just doing the out-of-competition tests, which is 12, would be 12 this year.
Well, time is almost, if nothing else, it has expired on us. But I'm just going to give you, Tariq, Sonia, a minute just to summarize the importance in terms of the education, all aspect of it. And Sonia, let persons remind them of the need really and truly to understand and the need to make sure that athletes, they remain above par.
Yeah, well, apart from our outreach and things that we do, every athlete, I think it's pretty much out there now, and it's something that we see in the news so often. And even if we don't reach to you, we think coaches, those that decide that they want to have athletes and train them and prep them for events, should try to educate themselves also. Apart from that, we have our Facebook page, which we're trying now to put more information out. So you could have a look at Grenada NADO on Facebook.
You're going to do an Instagram?
Yeah, hopefully soon. We're going to add an Instagram to that. So we're trying to meet people where they are. A lot of people, athletes, the young ones especially, they're on social media all the time. So, it's accessible. It's where they could actually go on and just have a little read of some material.
Sonia?
Great. Yes. So to wrap up, so we want to say thanks to you, and we want to say thanks to the ministry, and the PS is been busy with us as well, and she's been representing us in the Cayman Islands, and she's been doing very involved. So we want to say thanks to the ministry and thanks to the GOC Olympic Committee for doing the dues for us. We are in a better place because of that, respected and everything. So that's good for Grenada. And we do want to, at the end of March, we're hoping to do an education workshop, which would include a representative from all the associations and hopefully some representatives from the Sports Council as well in each parish, to sort of educate them about how the anti-doping program whole is. And then we just want to emphasize to people to make sure you read, go on the WADA website, have the WADA website available on your devices, and look at the Adele too. The Adele. There's an Adele platform there where you can do a lot of education sessions.
Okay.
And so we just need to really encourage everyone to educate and know and be in the know about it. Don't shove it on the side, and always be in the forefront, because the athlete is responsible for what they put into their body, and this is paramount for everybody to understand.
And I think that's important that you understand. It's your responsibility. Take care. Take responsibility of it. Tariq Sitcharan, PRO of the Grenada National Anti-Doping Organization. Sonia Johnson, President. Thank you, my dear sir and lady. We continue with the program in the morning time. I guess a very, very special lady. We're going to have a very interesting conversation as you look at women's role, independence, the progress that the women has made, the feminist movement, a whole lot of things. She's sitting on the outside. That conversation comes up next, right here on Good Morning Grenada.
Thank you.
Unlocking opportunities, Excel leads the way in digital advancement every single day. Fair internet access for all to share. Transparent billing with consumer care. Excel 3EC bill safeguarding our rights. Net neutrality, consumer protection shining bright. Mobile number portability available to you. Switch providers seamlessly. Keep the number true. Excel 3EC bill promoting fair play in the digital world. Every single day, affordable services are important for all. Through the EC bill, there'll be progress overall. Excel and the NTRCs connecting our communities.
Excel and the NTRCs, digitally transforming our space together.
If you are 50 years and over or turning 50 in 2024, our 50-plus car insurance is perfect for you. It's loaded with free benefits like loss of use, special perils, and windscreen cover up to $2,500. Getting to 50 is filled with ups and downs. Let's celebrate these moments together and look forward to 50 more. Call Beacon Insurance at 440-4447 or log on to beacongrenada.com to get a free quote today. Special conditions apply.
Are you ready for the ultimate culinary showdown? GBN presents Oil Down Fest. Oil Down Fest. Oil Down Fest 2025. Who will be crowned the Oil Down King or Queen? Compete to win in exciting categories like the most creative presentation and People's Choice. Mark your calendars, Saturday, February 1st, 2025. And join us in celebrating Grenada's 51st Independence Anniversary in style. Call or WhatsApp 473-407-8458 to register. Don't wait. Spots are filling up fast. This one-of-a-kind festival will feature electrifying music from Hot FM's top DJs, vibrant craft exhibition, and captivating performances by local artists. Don't miss the tastiest and most exciting event of the year, GBN's Oil Down Fest 2025. Saturday.
Say good morning, Grenada.
Good morning, Grenada. Good morning, Brent. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is good to have you on in the morning time. Remind me of once upon a time in a long, long, long time.
Right. Right. It's like returning to the scene of the crime, so to speak.
Oh my God! When you put it that way, you start making me okay.
Listen, I know you, so I'm just using words that you would use, right?
Brent, we 2025, that is, independence just around the corner.
Right.
And it's important as an independent country that we look back at the progress that we've made. I'm not talking progress in terms of economically. That's a different conversation. But we've had the conversation with universal adult suffrage. We look at where women's rights lives, the progress that we've made, youths and young people. As we look back, and then as we celebrate, the thoughts that the Grenada has made in terms of advancing the rights, the role of women in society.
Grenada Women Society. So I'm trying to stick to woman now, because I'm a woman, right? And just basically, experiences. I'm just going to talk from my broad experiences, interpersonal relationships, a little reading, maybe a little teaching in the classroom. Yeah, there's no letters behind my name with any special, designation in the field. So I just talk from that general sense. But I think It has evolved significantly, Joe. And that would be in keeping with global trends, because yes, we are developing a small nation, classified as third world. Not really, we're evolving. You know, we big, right? And I think there have been some significant strides, and those changes, I see them reflected primarily in the social spaces, the political spaces, corporate spaces, and the cultural landscapes. I think, yes, as you mentioned, it really came out of the suffrage and where the equal opportunities for education and employment and all of that, where that was really, really the bedrock. But I think over time, you know, it has expanded, and we have really, really come into our own. And even the women's liberation movement, I mean, those started, you know, has impacted. So issues like things like reproductive rights, big deal, sexual harassment, domestic violence, you know, equal pay for, you know, equal work. And then we get into the gender issues and all of that, especially in the corporate space. And then we now have, you know, how orientation, you know, intersect with gender and all of that. So, you know, we come a long way.
And there is a lot that people need to educate themselves. But even if you look at it, let's probably focus on the gender equality. Do you get the sense that our society has evolved in such a way that we understand really and truly and contextualize the importance of gender equality, that even women themselves understand what it means to them, and they be able to represent women on a whole, the whole question of equality?
Right. So I'm very unorthodox in my thinking. Unconventional. You know that.
Yes.
Right? A lot of things I wouldn't share openly because, you know, some things you just keep it in your head, right?
It's better up there.
Right. Better up there. So for the purposes of this conversation, though, let's just start at equal rights, period.
Right.
Let's not even attach the gender handle to it. Let's just start at that. And I think we've come a long way, right? There are still some societies in the world that we wish, you know, would you know, elevate. When we hear about, you know, women not being able to access education, can't work, you know, that sort of thing, right? But on this side of the globe, especially in the Grenada context, I think that we really have, we're really there. We're getting there. We're getting there.
Are you in any way troubled that when we talk about advancing the rights of women, that there's sometimes men seem to get a little bit troubled, and women, they tend to become overly competitive?
Right. And so we go to those interpersonal relationships, right? Whether they be intimate partner, whether they be in the
business place,
in the corporate space, whether they be, you know, friendships, you know, the church commune, you know, the political sphere, wherever it is, because wherever those things happen, dominant things, humans, there we are, men and women.
The dynamics do,
right? Men and women, still the two main genders, right?
Right. Well, thank you, Daddy Trump.
Let's move on. Right? So, you know, men and women. And I believe that there are some, I'm a very modern woman, you know that. Modernity is my thing. But I think whenever I let people into my space, they're normally very surprised that I have some very traditional things that I hold dear.
Please share.
And I won't share all of them.
Not all, no.
But for the purposes of this conversation, though, you mentioned the competitiveness of men and women. While the women's liberation movement and the independence of women, and we've come a long way, and I find that because women are naturally competitive. They compete with each other. You know, sometimes everything is a competition. It could be real tiring, you know? But that's just a natural way that women, you know, think. For men now, men we were taught to believe that the man is a dominant one, and he's the one that needs to provide, take care of the home, take care of all of that. But here we are in 2025, and we find that women have educated themselves, empowered themselves. Women have been left to raise children by men who have had challenges and moved away from them. I'll put it that diplomatic.
They bad-minded. You don't say that.
You go right ahead with that.
They're bad-minded.
Right? And so that, all of that, but, and because we're doing it, and it is happening, we think, okay, that's how it's supposed to be. But then comes a breakdown. Because, let's say in the family, I am one of those who believe that only a man can give a son certain things that he really needs to be a man. Okay. I am one of those who subscribe to that. And there are a plethora of examples I can give, experiences, and, I can give where that is concerned, right? But there are a lot of women who raise their sons. You can't take that away from them. Right. And they've raised some decent men, right? But there are, as you go along and you form relationships with people, there are certain deficits that pop up that had the dad or the father been there to really, guide or hold the hand of the son, things may have been different, right? So the competitive part, because women tell you, watch, I don't need that thing from no blah 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 blah.
They have their own bank account.
Yeah, I just think right. So
should we promote and encourage that in society with our younger generation?
Our younger generation, they have a different mindset. Joe. We get into them in a while. I don't have a lot of young friends. But the independence we should promote. As I say, across the board. Independence we should promote. But independently, there is a point when we need to share. Why were we created? I always say God could have left Adam in that garden alone,
No, but that's problem.
But right. So the very essence of creation, it means that we're supposed to coexist and complement each other. So as a woman, I find that many of us, and I have these conversations with my friends, some curse me, some see the light. That's okay. We love same way, right? That we have gotten, we're so educated, we're making more money than the men, that we're not allowing them to be men.
So are you saying, is the argument you're forwarding is that I can be your boss in corporate land, but when it comes to the structure of the home and the family,
yes,
allow the man to be the man.
Yes, allow him some things. Talk to him. Give him. There's a high. I don't want to use the word hierarchy, but a man needs to be a man. When a man is good for all of us.
So this relationship.
Allow him to feel that, because that's how you're the king, right? You're the king, so to speak. You provide. You nurture, emotional support, intimacy, spiritual support, friendship, all of that. Protection. That's how a man, give him that. Don't emasculate him. Don't make him feel, okay, you may be getting $3,000 more than his.
But
don't make him feel worthless.
But he's not stepping up to the plate, Brett.
So we have conversations. Right. Because remember, again, we go back to who raised the man. Was it a lady alone? Was it a man alone? Was it two people? Was it the village? Right? So, and that's the thing, because we become so microwave, Joe. We don't take time to know each other. We just text in, sup, all a little, kind of thing. We're not talking. We're not, we're not taking time. Everything has to be quick.
Do you get the sense? Do you have to get the sense, though, because those that have argued that from since time immemorial, there has been a holistic plan to separate and divide the home. You bring the home, you divide society. And we're in an era, as you said, where everything is just instant. You think that's part of the bigger problem in society, where we do not communicate with each other sufficiently?
I don't know.
We lose touch with each other?
I don't know about if it has been a plan or it has just happened organically, because we human beings, we're now bigger than God. Some of us think, right?
Oh yeah.
We're invincible.
Right.
You know? Oh, yeah. So I think over time, many things have impacted how we have evolved and how, society has happened in terms of our social interactions. Yes, it starts with the family. But, people will tell you, listen, my mother and my father wasn't there. The village raised me. And look how, I've become. And people say this all the time. But even if you think you've got a good education, you're a good Christian, you dress well, you have water, food, you have a job, that's just the outer. What happened inside?
What role does spirituality play?
A lot. It is so important. I mean, as I grow, as I mature.
Yes.
Because
there is a difference, huh? Growth comes naturally as human beings. You grow, you get older, but maturity is a separate and different conversation.
And you have to have a set of several sets of unique experiences in your life. And be accountable and have other people hold you accountable. People who love and care for you to mature.
How important is that?
And you have to want to mature.
Okay, you have to want to mature. So it isn't an automated process where I naturally...
No, Joe, we stubborn, You have people that tell you, so are they. So are they.
A bond sort of dead stuff?
Yeah, so are they. What are you telling me? So are they. But that's a defense mechanism.
Right.
I mean, we all have our unique personality, yeah. But when you're interacting and when you... Okay, so maybe about 5-10 years ago, I'm known for straight talk and plain speech.
Who vex? And there's some people that can't handle. They can't handle this.
But you see, that's the problem. In my plain talk and straight speech, I have to be concerned about the person receiving it. I cannot have who vex. I can't.
But why can't I?
No.
I'm just calling it as I see it, Brenda.
No, because who is receiving it is important. Because what is communication, Joe?
But they need to step up to the plate.
What is communication?
Some people miss it.
What is it?
It must be two-way.
Right. That you understand, that I understand, that we understand.
So what happens if you're in a scenario, you're in the workplace? I am trying, Brenda. I'm trying to talk to Brenda. And I have done all things seemingly, and I'm not getting through. What do I do? Sacrifice my soul?
Take a time out. Mm-hmm. Judge the right time. It's not always about getting what you want to get in at that time. Because remember, you want the communication to land. What is the end result? What is your end game? What do you want from it? Right? And a lot of times, in trying to get to that, you have to step away from I. And that's that,
And the I man element of the conversation is always the most difficult part, because there's always egos and there's me and there's how I feel.
It's the same thing in the men and women thing with the independence. That a man will go, I'm the man, and if you don't allow me to be the man, I'm going to crush you, or to show you that I'm the man, you have to do it. And the woman, when the woman is a dominant one superficially, she's like, I have my degree, I have my job, I have my car. I don't need nothing from you except some sex, blah, 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 blah.
Would you agree?
No.
It should more be a case of each one understanding our roles, satisfying those roles, and coming together at a point of equilibrium, more than I am trying to prove. Because I should not have to prove. I always say, you hear young men saying, I'm a man. And I keep saying to them, a man should not have to go and try to prove to the world that he's masculine.
Where does that come from?
Where does it come from?
Why does he have to fight to say
that he's a man?
Yes. Why?
From my perspective, I would say it's a failure on his part.
No, not necessarily. No. What are his value systems? How was he raised? Did he have to struggle to find his voice? Was he silenced? Did he watch his mother beaten down? Did he watch his father cursed out? You know?
Was he told every day, shut up, keep quiet?
Shut up, hush your mouth. What are you talking about?
So you grew up and you've grown into that persona.
When people become defensive and every time you see them they have to put on the label that they are this and that and shouting it, it is you just let me find the words. We're on TV and radio, right? You're just supposed to be a natural state of being.
Right.
And in exuding whatever, people should just receive that.
But there's some people, Brents, they will not be able to handle.
No. Well, you know, I mean, come on now.
And it's as part of the conversation.
It is what it is.
We must always recognize.
But are you going to change who you are? Because
you could, but you always have to realize
in leadership, what they tell you, and you know, in corporate role, and so is that you vary your style to suit the situation, but it doesn't take away the core. Because if you find you can't get through to a stubborn man on a Thursday morning, you go try him Friday again, right? Saturday, right? And if you figure I wanted to talk to him in here, and in here is grey, is, you know, he may not, okay,
right.
Take him to lunch.
So place and time.
Right. You vary your style to suit the situation because the end goal, what you want to achieve, what the outcome, what is the outcome, what do I want to get from this? And no matter whether it's intimate partner, whether it's whatever interpersonal relationship is humans. Whether you're raising children, whether you're managing a team of 20, whatever, whether you're in the church and you're the choir, you're in charge of the choir, or you're in charge of the program, and you have to talk to the first lady in the church, and you have to talk to, you know, the pastor and all of that. It's human beings.
The first lady in the church, where you get this term from?
I don't know. I went to a church and they had the first lady in the church.
The first lady in the church?
And the first lady in the church was sitting looking down at the people in the Joe, let's take 2 calls there. You bring me here to Bangaway.
The first lady, and that's where we've gotten to know the first lady in the church. Would you agree, though? That's another conversation.
But let's not scoff. I mean, it might seem weird, but in everywhere there's rules and there's structure. There's structure.
I have no issues with it.
It's normally the pastor's wife.
Normally, once a congregation is fine with it.
It's a commune, it's a family, whatever. I just don't. Image, visuals, they're very powerful, and optics. And on that particular day, I just didn't like the view of this person. It looked like, here I am, lofty, looking down at you, the plebs.
Let me just take this call because time is against us. Good morning, caller. Are you alive?
Hi, good morning, Joe. How are you doing?
Wonderful, thank you.
Listen, that's 2 programs. The first one and this one, I enjoy the topic of this 2 program. The first one with the job.
Yeah,
you teach the young people at a very early age. They know what and what. So growing up to be international, they will never have this problem. I love this education with these children and them from small. Let them know what they should put in the body and what, because as they really sometimes they don't know. You take a little Panadol and you feel that it's a headache, but it could affect you bigly. And the topic with Brenda, you're so correct. Some of us wives, we don't want to show off so much. You may be chatting with a man, you real man, come just leave this one you're chatting with and give your man the attention. That make him feel wanted. That make him feel, he feel like a man. But sometimes we don't do that. As Brenda really says, sometimes you walk in for a little more money than the man and you feel you up more higher than the man. Some of us in this country, we don't treat our man too hard. and then we complaining. But respect to our man, make them feel wanted, and perhaps we could help them do the things that they're supposed to do. Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks a lot.
You.
Thanks a lot.
That's Miss Glenda. I recognize her voice.
I am seeing that this conversation that is a part 2.
But just before we move on to the next caller, Miss Glenda is so right about respect. That's where it starts, Joe. It starts with respect.
Mutual respect.
I don't believe, Joe, how could you tell Abby, your wife, that you love her? You love her in every way, and you don't respect Abby?
But as people understand what respect is, because most times people see respect as what I give when you do something, where in fact
respect is honor. It's honor.
It comes from
yes, it's honor. So, and if you have self-respect, it's easy to give. It's honor. It's honoring a person. That's what it is.
Good morning, caller. You alive?
Yeah. Good morning.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's a good conversation. Sometime in life, when we, like Brenda said, when a man feels he's working for much more money than a woman, vice versa, they feel that they're powerful and they could do whatever they think, So at the end of the day, we take two to tango, and at the end of the day, it's just a matter of conversation and talk, and then you realize at the end of the day, whatever is they like, there is a man was made for a woman was made for a man. And if they take that on board, I believe at the end of the day, life will be a lot better. But I have to say something. Brenda, what makes it look so rosy today? I mean, the years I know you, it seems to be getting much blossoming better. You have Joe in a tangle. He can't even answer. You have him in a clinch.
Well, look.
Joe is my brother. I think Joe has always liked my energy and all of that. The hand of God, the hand of God, the hand of God.
When you have us in a clinch, he does hold us. So you have him. Keep him there.
All right. Everybody know you, Joe. Everybody know you. Everybody know you.
In fact, we steal in time, and we do want to beg the end.
Yeah, Jan, we stealing time.
Yeah, we stealing time. We are stealing time.
She probably watching us and say, "Look at them."
What happened to these two? Let's see if we can probably entertain this last caller before we wrap. Good morning, caller. You alive?
Brenda, you look rosy and nice. Anyway, what I want to say quickly, I heard a thing about this first lady in the church. So, Brenda, that's not the first time I'm hearing a thing that is in the States. And just like you say, I was so uncomfortable. It was a pastor's wife, and as though that person was above everybody and they're sitting up in their glory. And I wasn't impressed at all. But I want to say something also. Brenda, people don't tell each other you love them. Sometimes on a morning I would say I love you to a certain person, and people misinterpret it. I think that it's time that people tell each other I love you. You could tell your wife I love you, or say I love you to somebody. It's not necessarily have a sexual meaning. I think if you tell somebody you love them every day, or you say I love somebody to a neighbor, I think this world would be a better place. So I think that people must start practicing that and be their philosophy. I remember when I used to work in a bank, the husbands will kiss their wives when they drop out from the vehicle. I don't know. All these things need to come back so that people all that is a sign of love. So I think the bottom line is this, and also, what is responsible for the violence against women, with men beating the women, is because children live what they learn. When the children do wrong, you beat them like they have corporal punishment in school. All these things must stop because it is violence inflicted on the children, and that is what they learn. So when their wife do something, bam, they go beat them. So you see, it needs to stop from now. You love your wife, you love your children, the children do wrong, correct them in another way, because there's no evidence to prove that when you beat children, they're going to be good or bad. People just say, oh, well, I get licks and I was better. I think that this corporal punishment and so must stop.
Okay, cool.
Because when you teach children when you beat children, they're going to be the husband and the wife. But thank you, Brenda. Have a great day.
Thank you very much.
Look great. This is a first lady. I know about that, and I'm very...
But we got to wrap. But it's an important point.
It's nice to hear Miss Anne-Marie.
It's an important point that's been made. That we live as adults. I keep saying, any challenge or shortcoming there is in an adult, to figure it out, take them back to their childhood, and then you would realize. This is this conversation of saying I love you.
Yeah.
That dads telling their sons that I love you.
Yes.
You would find their dads that would say to their child or children, I love you. But they would never tell their boy, their son, that I love you. Hug them, kiss them, let them know that they appreciate it.
So how do you expect him then to become a man, to be out there and to be loving to his partner, and to as she say, walking, kissing the wife when you're dropping them out, public displays of affection. We very thing when it comes to PDAs. We like, but we see, I can be like, hey, what do them? That's normal.
So we see the visitors, they hold in hands.
Right.
But it's a cultural
thing.
Well.
Yeah.
It is a cultural thing that when you're dating.
Why had to wait to turn off the light, go down in some sheets and say I love you? Why?
That's the beast that's in us.
Why?
I wonder why Jan has to do that. You know what, folks?
Jan is a different creature.
Jan.
But Joe, listen. You know, I don't know last time I wake up so early, to travel.
There is a part 2 to this conversation, actually. We have to have a part 2 of this conversation. There's going to be a part 2. But folks, either way.
I just want to say this before I go, Joseph. As you, I think one of the callers touched on me. I've been Miss Glenda or Miss. It was you about men. This thing, I have more male friends than female friends, like close male friends than female friends. And men are openly talking about their needs, what their needs from women, how we make them feel, so now I say that based on what I have received from the brothers, so to speak. And even like, so Valentine is coming, Joe, right? And everybody, all of us, I want to see what he giving. Say no, we can. So I was talking to my girlfriend of mine, and she say, she on Amazon and thing, and she see something, boy, and she want to drop some hints, and she's like, I said, so where you getting for him? She said, what are you talking about? She said, so she said, well, a good night of, you know what? I said, that's not a gift, darling. That is not a gift. The intimacy in your relationship is part of your sharing.
It comes naturally.
That's not a gift.
That's not a gift. We think it's special.
She's out of course, she can't stand me. This and that and the other. But yesterday here, girl, my conscience attacked me, so I got something.
It is the truth. But the question is, are we mature enough as a society, as an individual? It comes back to maturity to understand the difference between the two.
And that's why I said at the top, Joe, when you talked about equality between men and women, I said to you, let's just start at equality, period. If I give you a gift, reciprocity.
Correct.
Why does I expect a man to give me gifts and I can't give him a gift? I don't understand that.
Sooner rather than later, it's going to create a divide in the relationships. Mentally, he starts thinking, then he starts to behave in a particular way. You start to behave
they shift.
Way.
That's when they start shifting, and I mean, and finding what they need in other places and in other forms, but that's another conversation.
That's another conversation we are going to have. Brenda's going to be back, and you might be surprised. It might be sooner rather than later. Folks, this is where the conversation ends for now. But I want to encourage you to openly show affection, show appreciation.
Yeah.
Say to somebody today on the 23rd day of January, I love you.
Yeah.
When your sons are leaving dads, hold them, hug them. Yeah. And
another thing, let them cry. Let them cry.
Crying is a natural emotion that shows up that we're hurting.
Yeah.
But we thought our boys not to cry.
Yes.
Because crying is a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
No. Crying indicates that there's something in me. There's an emotion, something I need to deal with.
Yes.
And I need help, comfort. And it's not helping in terms of coming rub my back, might just be listening to him. Yeah? Because if you don't listen to him, or she doesn't listen to you, don't listen to her, we'll find somebody that we're going to listen to. Folks, we leave the conversation there. 10 minutes gone past the hour of 8 o'clock. Folks,
have to get to my 9 to 5. Yeah.
Brenda's going
Thank
to
you.
on 9 to 5.
Thank
Brent,
you.
what's for lunch today?
Oh, I have lunch. I brought. I have. What do I have? I think I have rice and chicken and some salad or something like that.
So it means, folks, I'm going to eat because Brenda loves
2025, I try not to buy lunch every day. And, you know, man's on a budget.
I agree. And being on a budget doesn't mean that you're broke. It means
man's got things to do.
Man's got things to do. So man has to decide what allocates, what goes to that, and what goes for lunch. You put yourself in a budget. Discipline yourself. 10 minutes past the hour. JC loves you. And that's why I tell you folks I love you every day. JC really, really loves you. Brenda, I love you.
I love you too.
And it has nothing to do with our society.
I love you too. I love you too.
So you imagine friends, they head out to national TV and radio, and this evening they see us.
You know, my easy I love yous and my father.
That's where it starts.
He used to say to me all the time, all the time. My mother liked to hug and kiss. Yeah, so it's a natural thing for me. If you don't get it, it's because I don't feel it.
You're too bad minded. Folks, this is where we leave the conversation till another day and time. JC loves you. Folks, have yourself a really, 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 really super day. Live life and love life. Treat each day as it's your last day. And you sleep, you wake, you realize nothing's happening. You start doing it all over again. Until then, so long, everybody. Have a great one.